Okay, so I was feeling this evening to focus on the glutes, this area of our body, which tends to be really tight on most people because we use them a lot. So we can do just a little bit of powering up the glutes, getting them nice and warm, and then some nice deep stretches. This is what I'm really feeling that my body needs this evening. So let's just start in child's pose and get straight into a glute stretch. So you can choose knees together or knees wide, actually, it doesn't matter, you're still going to stretch the glutes. I'm choosing knees together. And just use this as our settling in posture. So if child's pose really isn't a comfortable posture for you, then you can choose another one, seated, leaning forward. Okay, so let's just take some time to settle in. So we're just doing a 40-minute practice this evening, targeting the glutes. Slow, deep breaths. And breathing space into your lower back. And if you can, just dropping your awareness a bit lower down and feeling when we stretch the lower back, maybe you can also feel that moving down into the buttocks. Giving that area of the body a stretch. Relax the jaw, closing the eyes. Couple more slow, deep breaths here, just really allowing yourself to release the forehead into the floor, let the shoulders drop. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring the hands forward if you took them back. Bring yourself up to a tabletop position, so hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And then let's just start to cat-cow. So inhale, lift the tailbone, looking up, dropping the belly. Exhale, tailbone under, stretch the spine, chin to the chest. Just keep that going with your breath. And at the end of your next exhale, tuck the toes under and lift the hips and find your way into downward dog. You can walk it out, lifting alternate heels, stretching the opposite heel down, spreading the fingertips. And again, feeling this as a lovely release for the lower back, bending the knees if you need, if you don't feel that. And also maybe starting to feel how that stretch also travels down, lower down over the buttocks. Couple more breaths. And then just come forward with your weight slightly. And we're going to just slide your left foot out to the right. So on the little toe edge, foot's just off the screen, little toe edge of the left foot. And you can stay with you can kind of come up on the right fingertips, or if you can, take the right hand up. A bit trickier. There's a bit of strength in that left shoulder. I'm kind of starting to get into that outer glutes a little bit more, maybe on both legs you feel it. Exhale, lower that right hand back down. Just pause with the chest facing the floor. Maybe you feel this in the outer upper left thigh, outer glute. And then we can just bring that left foot back. Come back to downward dog. Just take a breath here. And a key point I didn't say there, sorry. We bring the weight forward again and you pivot that left foot so you can turn the left toes out a little bit, and that's going to make it easier to bring the right foot through. So the right foot's coming through all the way to the left and you're on the little toe edge of the left foot, and that left foot's probably turned out as well a little bit. So you kind of like squeezing, that's it, you're kind of squeezing the inner thighs together here, maybe taking the left hand off the floor for a few breaths just to really feel that strength work in the upper right shoulder and back. Draw the navel back to the spine. Bring that left hand back down, just pause again, pressing back as if normal downward dog, pressing back through the hands, feeling this as a glute stretch possibly. And then just bringing the feet back to normal downward dog. Just take a breath here. And then at the end of your exhale, take a step or a walk forward until the feet are underneath the hands and forward fold over your legs. Again, we'll probably feel this in the back of the legs, bend the knees if you need. But track the sensation of stretch higher up the back of the legs and again over the glutes where it meets the lower back. We're stretching the whole of the back of the body here. One more breath. And then bringing the hands to the hips. Just take a deep bend and just getting a bit of fire in the glutes. We're going to bend the knees deep, sink the hips and stretch the fingertips forward. Draw that navel back to the spine. Feel that kind of fiery feeling building in the thighs. I'm going to do quite a lot of squatting at the first part of tonight. And then slowly stand up, straightening the legs, bring the hands to the side. And we'll move through some salutations that involve some kind of lunge feelings that are going to work the glutes. Okay, so come to stand at the front of your mat. Just bring the hands behind you, interlace the fingers, press the knuckles down toward the floor, drop the tailbone, firm the front of the thighs, release the fingertips, keep the shoulders where they are, and connect to your breath. Slow, deep breaths. Feel your feet on the ground, very open and aware feet. And then on your next inhale, raise the hands, look up, stretch through the body. Exhale, forward fold, dropping the head towards the shin. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, step the left foot back. The right knee stays bent over the right ankle, and we inhale, come straight up to a high lunge here. So we've got the back knee off the floor on the toes of the back foot. Now really squeeze this left glute. Give it an extra squeeze. Inhale. As we exhale, we're going to bend that left knee, hovering it above the floor. And inhale, we're going to straighten the leg again 3 times. Exhale, bending the left knee lower. Inhale, straighten the left leg, squeeze the glute. One more time. Exhale, lower, bend the knee. Inhale, straighten the left leg, squeeze the glute. For the last couple of breaths, just take the hands forward so you've got a straight line from the left heel to fingertips. Now you'll feel this in the right glute. And then exhale, take the hands down, come straight to downward dog if you want, otherwise moving through plank as you inhale. Exhaling down to chaturanga. Inhaling to a back bend. Exhaling, downward dog. We'll just pause, downward dog. Maybe you can feel the fire in the glutes already. Good. And at the end of your next exhale, look forward and step or bring or walk the left foot forward. So we've now got the left foot between the hands, left knee above ankle, and we inhale, raise the hands, coming up to our high lunge. And again, give that right buttock an extra squeeze here, the right glute. Stretch up through the fingertips. Taking a big inhale. As we exhale, lowering that right knee to just hovering above the floor. Inhale, straighten the leg, squeeze the buttock. Exhale, lower. Inhale, squeeze, straighten. Last time, exhale, lower. Inhale, straighten the leg, squeeze the right buttock. Exhale, take the weight forward, reach through the fingertips, straight line from fingertips to heel. One more deep breath, deep inhale. And exhale. And then as you inhale, you'll bring the hands down, step the right foot to join the left at the front of the mat, look up. Exhale, drop the head to the shins. Inhale, raise the hands above the head, reach and stretch. Exhale, bring the hands to the side. And just pause, take a breath. Okay, and then we'll go again, different variations. Inhale, take the hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, step the left foot back and spin the back foot this time. So the left toes are in front of the heel, and inhale your way up to warrior two now. So your hips are open to the long edge of the mat, and we're reaching through the fingertips in opposite directions. Look forward over your middle right finger. Staying in this nice deep lunge, working the glute muscles. Deep breaths. As you exhale, bring your right elbow onto your right thigh, possibly hand to the floor, and reach up and over with the left hand for side angle pose. And one more breath. Inhale back to warrior two. Take a breath. Try not to come out of this deep lunge. We want to feel this burning feeling in that right glute. Exhale your way to reverse warrior. Left hand onto left leg. Right hand reaches back. Stay with that deep lunge in the right leg. And then inhale to come up. Turning to the front, take the hands down. Again, straight to downward dog or child's pose if you want, otherwise plank. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Very nice. Take some breaths in downward dog. Feeling that lovely warmth building in the buttocks and the hips here. Energy starting to build. And then at the end of your next exhale, look forward, bring that left foot forward between the hands, spin that right foot, and coming up again, the warrior two on this side. So keep that left leg nice and bent, hips open to the side, reach through the fingertips, look forward over that left middle finger. Keep sinking into that left hip, push out through the little toe edge of the right foot. Breathing deep. Fill the lungs with breath. Stretch the chest cavity with your breath. And as you exhale, left elbow onto left thigh, reach that right upper arm up and over, and really find that side angle stretch. Press out through the little toe edge of the right foot, and reach away in the other direction with the right fingertips. Looking up to your right hand. Deepening into that lunge on that left leg. One more deep breath. Okay, now try not to move the legs. Just bring the torso back to warrior two. It's probably going to burn. Take a breath. Really press through the heel of the left foot to really switch on that glute stretch even more, and then come into reverse warrior. Keep lunging into the left leg. Inhale back, warrior two. Take one final inhale. Turn to the front, bring the hands down. Just spin the back foot and then take a big step forward with the right foot. And inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, dropping the head. Press through the feet. Inhale, raise the hands, reach and stretch, look up. Exhale, hands to the side. Great. And again, take a moment. We're going to do 2 more rounds, leading with left foot this time. This time we'll start with the knees bent. So when you're ready, bend the knees, drop the hips, take the fingertips towards the floor. Inhale, keep the hips low as we take the hands up, the chair pose, and just stay here for another couple of breaths. Hips sink, fingertips stretch. And then on your next exhale, bring the hands down, lift the hips, fold in, dropping the head. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, step the right foot back first this time, and again with the right toes in front of the heel. This time we're going to keep the hips facing forward and inhale our way up for warrior one. So our hip bones face the front now, reaching up through the fingertips, and maybe the palms touch if that's okay for the shoulders. Maybe we look up if the balance allows. Really press out through that back foot, little toe edge of the back foot. And then bringing the hands behind us, interlace the fingers. Inhale, lift the Hands away from you, up, open the chest, look up, and exhale, come into humble warrior. So bring the weight forward, bring the head to the inside of the left foot, and bring those hands up, maybe forward. Keeping that deep lunge on the left leg. I know this is a real glute thigh burner. One more breath if we can. On your inhale, look up, stretch the knuckles back, chest forward, reaching the hands down to the floor. Come to child's pose or downward dog. Otherwise, we're coming to plank. We're exhaling to lower. Inhaling to upward dog. Exhaling downward dog. Beautiful. And breathe, downward dog. And then from here, we're going to look forward. We're going to step or bring the right foot forward and spin the back foot, keeping a nice deep bend on the front leg. Inhale your way up to warrior one. So we're facing the front with our hip bones here, pressing back and out through that left foot, activating the left leg. And really focus on sinking as deeply as we can into that front leg. So we really work that right glute here. You could also squeeze the left glute. Breathing deep. And then bringing the hands behind, interlace the fingers, maybe the other little finger on the outside. Take an inhale to lift the hands, open the chest, look up. Exhale, come forward into the humble warrior, head to the inside of the right leg, hands up and over. And just check, often we swing the right hip out to the right hip, bring it back to the center line probably, and you might feel that glute burn even more. One more deep breath. And then inhale, look up, stretch the knuckles back, release the hands to the floor, come onto the toes of the back foot. Inhale, step the left foot forward to join the right, look up. Exhale, drop the head, folding in. Inhale, raise the hands, palms touch, look up. Exhale, hands to the side. Well done. But one more round, so let's take a breath. Inhale, raising the hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, just the same. Step the right foot back, toes in front of the heel. So we've got the left knee above the left ankle. And then we're facing front. So just establish this low lunge, but we've got the sole of the right foot on the floor. And then we're going to walk the hands over towards the right. So just walk to about 45 degrees. If there was a straight line out, a 90-degree angle, we come halfway, we stretch the fingertips forward, we keep the legs in the same position, and then it's like we're in downward dog in the upper body. We drop the head between the upper arms, and we keep lunging into that left leg, left hip. That's it. One more breath. Okay, slowly come back to the center. Come onto the toe of the back foot. We're going to see if we can transition straight from here into the pigeons. This is going to be our first glute stretch. So pressing through the hands to feel safe, we're going to bring that left knee to the outside of the mat behind the left wrist and start to walk the right foot back. And come onto the top of the right foot. And we end up in pigeon. And then we can stay here, or if it feels okay, should feel quite warm, we can take the weight forward, bring the forehead onto the back of the hands or the floor. Take some slow deep breaths and just feel how that is for you, having worked the glutes so much. How is it now to be stretching it? So really let the breath help you here. Just slow the breath down, relax the shoulders, relax the back of the face. And just feel that release after all the activation. Couple more breaths. And at the end of your next exhale, just pressing the hands into the mat, gradually bringing them back. We're going to tuck that back toe under and slowly bring the left foot to join the right and take a plank. And just pausing plank with the backs of the knees fully open. This is our kind of decompression for the leg. Inhaling. And then as you next exhale, lower down to chaturanga or the floor. Inhale to your back bend, shoulders back, chest forward. Exhale back to downward dog. And take some breaths in downward dog. Probably your left hip buttock feels quite different from your right now. So we will even up. So at the end of your next exhale, we're going to look forward and step the right foot between the hands. We'll bring the right foot between the hands, spin the back foot, so the sole of the left foot's on the floor, toes in front of the heel, and we're looking forward. So we're in a kind of a strange version of the low lunge with that left foot down. And then we walk the hands, we don't move the legs at all, we just walk the hands to the left to about kind of what would feel like 45 degrees. And it's like you're pushing through the hands to almost send the hips in the opposite direction. The legs and the hips don't move position, but we have this sense of extension in the upper back like we would in downward dog, head between the upper arms, and we're kind of pushing through the hands a little bit. Deepen that bend into that right knee a little bit if you can, to really switch on that right glute. Press through the right heel especially. One more breath. And then slowly walk your way back to your mat. And you can just spin on the back foot if it makes it more stable, feels better for me on the toe. And then pressing through the hands so that you can kind of control your descent. We bring that right knee behind the right wrist all the way out to the edge of the mat. And then we tuck the left toes under, walk the left foot back, and onto the top of the left foot. Try to keep the right foot flexed. And then if it feels okay in your body, taking the hands forward, resting the forehead on the floor or your hands or a brick. If it doesn't feel good, we can modify, we can put something underneath the right hip. We can come out of this, come onto our back foot, thread the needle, and listen to your body. Only do what feels appropriate. Take some slow, deep breaths, relaxing the face and the shoulders and the back. Just giving that glute time to release. Usually we can release more effectively after we've really activated a muscle. Just a couple more breaths, just to give it that enough time to let go of what it might be gripping onto. And then from here, bringing the hands back in, tucking that back toe under, lifting the back knee. And again, we'll just come out a little bit differently here. Again, come to the plank, just so that we really open up the back of the knees. Hold the plank for a couple of breaths, lifting the lower belly up towards the spine. And then this time we're just going to push straight back to downward dog. Just take a couple of breaths here. And then we're going to take the right foot forward first into a low lunge. And on an inhale, the left foot's going to join the right. Looking up, lengthening the spine. Exhale, forward fold over the shins. Inhale, raising the hands, reach and stretch. Exhale, hands to the side. And just pause here. Great, well done. Let's just do a balance, excuse me. I don't know where my water is. I might just need to get my water, sorry. Okay. So we're going to just try a balance and then we'll come down for some more stretching. So this is a balance that stretches the glute. So we're going to bring the right outer ankle onto the front of the left thigh, and it creates a kind of like number 4. It's the shin, the right shin is more or less parallel to the floor. So we're not bringing the heel high and dropping the knee like we sometimes do. The heel is more or less in line with the knee. Okay. And then from here, we bring the hands together at the center of the chest, and you're actively pressing the right ankle onto the left thigh. And you can just stay here. This is working the inner right hip muscle. But if we want to feel the stretch on the right glute, we're going to start to hinge at the hips and stick the bum out behind us, actually, as we fold the chest forward to meet or towards your right shin. It's a tricky balance. The left leg can be bent, the left knee can be bent. Keep the right foot flexed. Excellent. And I feel this with my right glute. It's a bit like pigeon, the balance. Well done. See if you can slowly come out the way you went in. You might find that you just get a little bit lower when you've been here a while. But when you're ready to come out, slowly unhinge, coming back to upright, press the right ankle into the left thigh one more time, and release. Excellent. Well done. Okay, let's take a moment. So if you need a bit longer in the posture, take it. If you don't feel you've fully got, this is a posture that I think takes a bit of time to kind of feel and drop into. So we'll just see how it goes on the other side. So standing on your right leg, flexing that left foot, taking the outer left ankle to the front of the right thigh, and bringing the palms together. So just pause here for a moment, find your balance, and press that left ankle, feel that left inner hip, inner thigh working here. We can stay here, or to move into our glute focus. Again, it's like we stick the bum out behind us as we take the weight forward. So gradually the chest is getting closer towards that left shin and ankle. Eventually, if you're quite open, you can even lay the forearms onto the shin. Keep sticking the bum out. Often I say that in yoga, but I'm doing this one. And bending the right knee, exploring how you feel the best stretch, how bent the right knee is. Great work. If you need longer, stay there. Otherwise, when you're ready, slowly come out the way you went in. If you wobble, don't worry, but as best we can. Press the left heel, ankle into the right thigh one more time. And release. Excellent work, well done. Let's take a moment. Okay, so let's come down to the floor. We'll just come to a seated position. Just come to a simple seated cross-leg position. We'll just do some stretches. So simple glute stretch first of all. Let's just ease our way into this. So just whenever you're ready, just start to take the hands forward. We often do this at the start of the class. Let's feel what it's like after we've really been focused on the glutes. So walking the hands forward, drop the head, press through the hands to really stretch through the spine and press the back rib of the pelvis down. Breathe into the back of the body. And then gradually walk the hands back in. So we're going to try that again, but take it a deeper stage. You can just repeat what we just did, absolutely fine. But if not, we're going to have if possible, we're going to have a go at the firelog. So at this point, we've really flexed the left foot, and the left shin is kind of parallel with the edge of your mat. And then we pick up the right foot, and if we can, we bring it all the way so that the sole of the right foot's kind of flush with the outer left thigh, and the shins are kind of stacked like logs. I don't know whether that's why it's called firelog, but that's how I imagine it. We're stacking the logs here. So the feet are flexed. You might find your right knee's very high. You might find you can't get your foot all the way over. So you can prop it, or you can just stay where you are. Or again, as I say, come back to what we just did. Okay, so you might feel this already much more intense, and you can just stay here. This is enough. Like I can feel it here already. But if we feel we could stretch a bit more, take your hands in front of the shins and just feel into it. Start to take a walk forward with the hands again. So this is much, much more intense So if your hips are tight, it's going to transfer to your knees, and we definitely don't want to be overstraining our knee joint. So as soon as you feel any kind of inappropriate pain in your knees, then come back, because we need to open the hips. First, we don't want to force the knees. When you feel like you've found your edge, we're just going to pause, drop the head, take some slow, deep breaths. You might find after a few breaths that you can go a tiny bit deeper, but just really explore that for yourself, your movable edge, letting your breath be your guide. One more deep breath here. Really fill the glutes with your breath. See if you can direct your breath to opening, expanding your buttocks, your lower back area. And then slowly walking the hands back in. And come all the way up to upright. And we'll just turn this into a twist. So bring your left heel to the outside of the right hip and bring the sole of your right foot down. So your right foot's to the outside of the left knee. If that doesn't work for you, bring it to the inside. Do what you need to do here. Okay, and then if you need to sit on a block as well, sit on the block. But ideally, we want to descend and drop this right hip as we press the right toes down. Then inhale, stretch up through the left. Exhale, twist towards the right, hug the right knee into the crook of the arm, or press the elbow to the outside of the knee and look over your right shoulder, lifting up through the spine. Drawing the lower belly back towards the spine. And unwind, come back to the center, and we'll do all of that on the other side. We might actually go over 45. I'm quite enjoying myself, so I guess you guys were set up for longer, so hopefully that's okay. Okay, we wanted to do it the other way around now. So we've got the right foot, swap your legs over. So we're going to start with the cross legging on the other leg in front. Okay. And then starting from the beginning, we take the easy, we just crossed our ankles, didn't we? We just crossed our legs. So cross your legs the other way. Let's do it the same as on the other side. And then we walk the hands forward and drop the head. And at the end of your exhale, slowly walking the hands back in. And just make sure you've got the other leg on top. So for me, it's going to be the left leg on top this time. So the right shin is parallel to the front of the mat with the with the foot flexed. And then we pick up the left foot and we swing it in until the sole of the left foot's flush with the outer right thigh, if we can, otherwise as far as we can go with that. Support your lower left knee if you need, sit on a block if you need. So you should, as you look down, you should see like a triangle shape pointing towards you. Your heel shouldn't be all the way into your groins. I can't see your legs, Penny, but I'm pretty sure you know what you're doing. And that looks good. Okay, so from here again, just feel into this. If this is enough, or start to take the hands forward. And just go slow, go incremental, just listen to your body again, especially listening to your knees. Find the place that feels like your edge, but that you can still breathe fully into. necks, your face, your shoulders. Just breathe and open to the intensity. Breathe into the intensity. One more deep breath here. And just slowly walking the hands back in. And let's transition to that twist. So you kind of just lean back a little bit so you can rearrange your legs. We're going to bring the right foot to the left so that it's going to be outside the left hip. And then we try to bring the sole of the left foot down to the floor, if possible, to the outside of the right thigh, if not to the inside. And then left hand is our prop behind. Inhale, stretch up through the right side, twist towards the bent leg, press the elbow to the outside of the thigh or hug the knee into the elbow. Look over your left shoulder. Feel like you're lifting up through the spine, dropping down through the tailbone, drawing the lower belly in. Pressing those left big toe down and breathing deep. And at the end of your exhale, just unwind, come back to the center. We're going to come into the diamond pose. So we bring the soles of the feet together and the knees wide, but we don't bring the soles or the heels all the way in, but like we do for Baddha Konasana. We take them further forward, so as you look down, you see like a diamond shape. And then we take our hands towards the outside edge of the feet. And we allow ourselves, and this is a posture where we allow the back to round. So it's almost like you're bringing your chin in towards the chest. But actually the direction we're taking the head in is towards the feet. And if you're quite open, eventually you can rest the head on the feet with this kind of rounded back. But if we're not there, then that's the direction we're going in. And if you are quite open, your elbows are going to be in front of the shins. So real opener for the lower back and glutes. And slow breaths. And then slowly bringing ourselves up. Just use your hands to help you bring the knees together. Then I come down onto our backs. So we'll just do a back bend because back bends activate the glutes, and then again we'll finish with some final stretches for the glutes. So bring your heels in towards the buttocks and press down through the palms. And when you're ready, inhale, stretch, bring the hips up. Draw the shoulders underneath and find your back there, maybe interlacing the hands underneath the back. And then take your awareness to your glutes here. Feel how, when we're in this back bend, the glutes are working. But there is a way that we can try to only activate the lower parts of the glutes. So we want to create as much space in the lower back around the sacrum as possible. So instead of squeezing the whole of the glutes, see if you can just start to release the upper part of the glutes a bit more, feel them kind of soften, whilst the lower part of the buttocks are still working. See if you can kind of feel that subtle change in your body. You may or may not. Breathing deep. And then when you're ready, after 5 or so breaths, releasing the hands, if you interlace the fingers, slowly wind the spine down, upper back to lower back, place the sacrum down, move the shoulders back, and just for a moment come to the constructive rest posture. So take the feet to the mat width apart and let the inner knees rest on each other. This relaxes the whole of the legs, the belly. I'll just take a counter pose, just lifting the knees, draw the knees into the chest. Just give yourself a hug here for a moment. Stretching into the lower back. And then we'll just complete with one last kind of glute opener. So we're going to bring, similar to what we've already done, we're going to bring the right ankle, outer ankle onto the front of the left thigh. Left foot can stay on the floor if you need, otherwise left foot lifts, right foot goes through that gap under the right leg, left hand around the outside, and we hug the shin or the back of the knee in towards the body. And you'll feel that as that familiar stretch now on the outer right hip, maybe in the inner right thigh, depending where you're tight, maybe in the lower back. But taking those nice, slow, deep breaths. And you can really feel like you're breathing space into the tight areas as you breathe in. Breathing out stuck energy, tension. And from here, we're just going to take a twist. So release that left foot back to the floor. Allow, hold the shape. Keep pressing the right ankle into the thigh as we allow everything to drop out to the left. And the right knee is pointing up towards the ceiling. You can extend the right arm away from the shoulder. You can maybe push the right thigh away from you. Breathe into that right side, right hip, right belly. Release, find your core, draw the belly back to the spine, bring yourself back to the center. Swap sides, just check you're centrally aligned. Flex the left foot, place it on the front of the right thigh, and then interlace the hands around the front of the right shin or hold the back of the knee. Your left arms through that little gap. And relax the shoulders and the face. Slow, deep breaths. Left foot stays active and flexed. Right foot can just flop and relax. And at the end of your next exhale, bring the right foot to the floor. Keep that left foot flexed and pressing into the thigh as we drop everything out to the right until the sole of the left foot meets the floor, left knee pointing up to the ceiling. Extend your left arm away. Take some nice, slow, deep breaths, relaxing behind the left shoulder blade. Slowly finding your core, bring yourself back to the center. We're just going to stretch the legs up into the air and cross the right thigh on top of the left. Bend the knees and see, you'll probably need to pick your head up off the floor. See if you can find the little toe edges of each foot with your hands. So reach for your little toe edge with your hands. So yeah, it's a bit weird. You're kind of pulling the feet away from each other. That's it. And then if you can bring the head back to the floor again, and it's like you're pressing the feet into the hands and pulling the feet away from each other with the hands. So there's a kind of a bit of a push-pull thing going on here. And for me, it's a strong glute stretch. And then release. Again, just unravel the legs, stretch the legs up into the air. Left thigh on top of right, cross them as high up the legs as possible, and then bend the knees and reach your hands forward. Find the little toe edges of the feet, and then press the feet into the hands. So the feet are trying to lift away from the floor, eventually to kind of be in line with the knees. And then you're also kind of resisting a bit or even pulling the feet away from each other with the hands. So there's a little bit of a kind of tussle going on, feet and hands, but we try not to let the feet flop towards the floor. They're kind of lifting up and the hands are kind of pressing, offering a little bit of resistance and pulling away as well. It's like doing Gormakasana, the cow face on our back. And release. Unravel the legs. Just come to happy baby. Just something a bit different. Holding the outer edges of the feet with the knees wide towards the armpits. Relax your face. And just bring the knees together, give yourself a hug, maybe a rock side to side if that feels good. Maybe just before Shavasana, you want to lift the head up towards the knees and just give everything a tight squeeze. I really like to do this before Shavasana, like final expenditure of energy. And then just allow yourself to flop into Shavasana. And we've gone a bit longer than we said, but that's fine. So we'll take a nice few minutes here. So just allow the body to totally relax, the jaw to relax, the face to relax, and just feel the effects of the practice in your body, in your mind. Begin to deepen your breath. Move the fingers and the toes and the head. And take any stretches that feel good. And gradually, when you're ready, return to seated. Thank you for practicing this evening. Hope you enjoyed. Namaste.